Okay, so we have our proof in order. Now we just have to link these boxes together and fill in some missing reasons. And I'm going to do some highlighting and annotating to try and make it a little bit more clear with what's happening in this proof. So, checking on my given, I'm given segment PR, I'm going to highlight it in orange, is equal to segment QS, and I'll highlight that in yellow. And I'm being asked to prove that segment PQ, this little overhang on the left, is equal to, I highlighted a little bit too far, the overhang on the right. Now, because the overhang is smaller than the original segment, that's a hint to me that I need to be taking some of the segment away, which means I'm using subtraction to complete this proof. And the piece I'm subtracting is this overlapping piece in the middle. So looking at my picture, I have PR, and if I got rid of QR, I'm left with PQ, which is what I want. And if I have QS, the yellow segment, and I got rid of QR there also, I'm left with RS. Getting rid of means I need to do some subtraction. Subtraction means I need to include the sum of the measures of the parts. So I started, with my given that says PR, oops, I wanted orange, let's try that one more time, is equal to, still green, PR is equal to QS, is my given. Well, PR, if I know it's subtraction proof, if I have to do sum of the parts, how else can I refer to PR? Well, it's PQ plus QR. How else can I refer to this yellow segment of QS? Well, it's QR plus RS. So PR is right here, it's right here, and this too is actually PR. QS is here, but it's also equivalent to what's inside of this box. All of the circles are the same, and all of the boxes are the same. And so that's how I was allowed to replace what was in the circle with this equivalent expression that's in the circle. And what was in the rectangle was the equivalent expression in the rectangle. And so my reason to support that is substitution. Now my goal was to get PQ, which is right here, equal to RS, which is right here. I'm so close. I have them both in the same equation, which is a good sign. But I have this guy and this guy in the way of those QRs, so I need to get rid of them. Before I get rid of them, I do need to do my reflexive property that says QR is equal to QR. But now that I have that reflexive property, I can get rid of them, and all that's left is PQ equals RS. So now I'm going to go back through it again and add the reasons. My first step is given. Then I wanted to know what was that orange and yellow expressions, what were they equivalent to? Well, I can use the sum of the measure of the parts equals the measure of the whole to redefine what those segments are. And because I have those new redefinitions, I can substitute them in for equivalent quantities. So my reason is substitution. Now I wanted to get rid of QR on both sides. QR is equal to QR by the reflexive property. And I got rid of it using subtraction. So my reason is equals subtracted from equals are equal. And my proof is complete. On the right, I have a very similar proof, but it's similar because it uses the same segments, but it's actually in the reverse order. This time I'm given that PQ, that small piece, equals RS, this small piece, and I'm being asked to prove that this larger piece equals this larger piece. Because it's larger pieces that I'm trying to get, that means I'm adding. And what do I have to add to the orange to get that full segment? QR. What do I have to add to the yellow to get that full segment? QR again. I have to add that to both sides. So the way I started my proof was by saying that the orange is equal to the yellow. And that was my given information. Now I know that I wanted to add the same thing to both of those sides. So I wrote down that thing that I wanted to add to both sides. QR equals QR. So I added these together. The QR and the QR. And since orange was equal to yellow, and blue is equal to blue, orange plus blue has to equal yellow plus blue. And when I'm adding equations together like that, my reason is equals added to equals are equal. Now my goal is to get PR. Well, PQ plus QR is PR, but I can't replace it until somewhere you explicitly state that that is PR. And QR plus RS is QS, which is what I'm trying to get. But I can't replace it unless you tell me that it's QS. And to tell me, you have to use the reason, the sum of the measure of the parts equals the measure of the whole. So you've told me, so now I can replace a circle with the other item in the circle, and the box with the other item in the box. And because I'm swapping things out for equivalent quantities, my reason is substitution, and my proof is complete. These two proofs, they have the same 5 steps, but because one of them is adding segments and the other is subtracting segments, the 5 steps are just in the exact opposite order.